Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and today I was inspired to do something a little bit crazy. A2, a unit I'm very excited about working into some team comps. It's been a while since I've reincarnated anybody, and I had an idea. I bet you can see where this is going. I clicked the Transcendence button and I was like, all right, look, I have not messed with auto reincarnate in War of the Visions yet. This is an insanely big quality of life. It makes max reincarnating something so much easier, and I kind of just wanted to mess with it. So I clicked the button and I was like, all right, I could get it to about here. Right there, and I started hitting bottlenecks. I was like, oh right, you need all of this stuff to reincarnate somebody. So I was like, how can I like make some kind of content out of this? I want to use some of my almost 7,000 scrolls, which at one time for my account were the biggest bottleneck that I had going. Clearly that's no longer the case. So I'm just gonna kind of walk you through the reincarnating process right here. Whether you're somebody who's brand new, whether you're somebody who's been playing for a while, there's different ways to conquer these things, right? Mind spheres, scrolls, there's only a couple ways to get those. Like, we'll get those as we get them, but all the rest of this stuff, farmable or gettable in some way. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through what I'm thinking as I'm working on max reincarnating my A2 so I can start working her into some arena at her full potential. Right now, I can get 18 reincarnations. So I'm going to go ahead and click that button. Let's max reincarnate some units here. I'm going to use my near mind spheres first. Boom, max it out, and then start dipping into these generic mind spheres, which is a dangerous way to go. Still, let's see how this works. Okay, I've never actually seen this before. This is cool. So it's just sitting there behind the scenes. It's still not, look, it's War of the Visions, right? It can't instantly do something for us. It would just be too much of a quality of life if it was like, ta-da, here you go. She is now reincarnated 18 times. Okay. There we go, 18 reincarnations. We've got all of those stats you just saw flash across the screen. It felt like it kind of spread the board a little bit. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so all that comes in. It definitely still took a minute, right? Like, it definitely still took a second for that to happen, but it wasn't that bad. And I bet you, yeah, I can't instantly reincarnate again. I'm out of some of the elemental materials, so fragments of thought and awakening prisms. Let's start there. That seems as good of a place as any to start going through this journey. Those are probably the easiest things to overcome. If you're like me, or you're somebody who's played the game for a long time, you're probably, first of all, just sitting on a bunch of these select tickets. Like, right, first thing I pull up when it happens, hey, look, elemental awakening prisms. We recently got the quality of life where you can like summon a lot of these at once. So this is obviously a way to deal with this, but this requires you not having just using them right when you get them. I think for newer players, this approach won't be as good because you're probably leveling a bunch of units or everything you can and burning through these tickets as fast as you're getting them. If you're not, come in here, scroll through this a little bit, look for some of those tickets. I can guarantee you, Fragment of Thoughts, I have a bajillion 300 Fragment of Thought tickets hiding somewhere in here. So that's one way to do it, but a definitely good way to do it, and the way I will probably take advantage, and I've already taken advantage of this month, is guild and friend medals. Now, I don't have nearly as many friend medals as I have guild medals, but in here, in both of these shops, you can get up to 500 prisms and fragments of thought a month. 500 in your friend shop is going to cost you about 10,000 medals. That's a little bit of a steep price for my friends, but for my guild medals, which I'm just swimming in, you can come in here, you can get 300 there and right here. Now, I've already done that. So this method's tapped out. I'm going to go use my tickets. I'm going to sort through those dang things. It's a little annoying. That's definitely where we could get some quality of life, but I'll go sort through those things and get the rest of mine there. And I'll keep my, 89,000 friend medals, because for some reason that feels like not very many. An often slept upon method as well, which I haven't done this month, and the month is about to run out, and definitely something you should do if you don't remember to do this every month, is go into your selection quests. And even if you're not concerned with like max clearing all these selection quests, which I'm clearly not, you still want to jump in here. Just get yourself a team. Like, I have this like farming team, disband that party, auto form the party, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just skip ticket the highest level one you've done. If I skip this thing about, what, I bet you 5 times will max out the amount of fragments of thoughts and awakening prisms I can get. You can do this for every element. You can see you get a ton of drops in here. I just got 45 out of 100. I got about halfway there, so I'm going to need to skip that. I'll skip it 7 more times just to make sure that I really cash it in. But this will be a nice way to keep the elemental fragments of thoughts and awakening prisms flowing. You will tap out, but you do get some like bonus, like your rainbow fragments of thought right here. This is definitely something you should be doing every month, because you never know. Even if you feel like you have enough of one element, you might think, hey, this is my day. I'm max reincarnating Squall, and you go to your lightning and you're like, oh, maybe I should have been doing this for a few months and I wouldn't be in such a bad place. Okay, so there's that one. Let's go back to our unit and let's see what the next bottleneck we run into is, because we're just going to tackle this thing one terrible bottleneck at a time. We're at level 135 because it like stopped right in the middle. Okay, Transcendence, auto reincarnate many times as you can. Here we go. Max it. Let's ride. Now, the Mind Spheres one is a little bit interesting. I'm going to get 5 more reincarnations out of what I just did. The Mind Spheres one, I have a little bit more to say about, and I'm going to go ahead and treat that as the next bottleneck because I have dipped into generic Mind Spheres. I want to talk, this is maybe the most important thing in the video, is I want to talk about generic Mind Spheres, especially for people who've played the game for a while. Okay, so there we go. We've done those rounds. We are now, well, what is our next bottleneck? If we were to hit this, what are we looking at? If I hit max reincarnate again, okay, we're looking once again at fragments. We'll deal, we already know how to deal with that. These Mind Spheres, near Mind Spheres. A couple things to say here. One, with a collaboration unit, you definitely have a time window you're up against. Of course, you can go into the shop and start purchasing shards, purchasing Mind Spheres, doing the Mind Sphere banner, stuff like that. But I think people would like to avoid spending Visior whenever possible. In that case, I definitely think you want to take advantage of the guild barracks for especially for collaboration. And you can see I'm slamming 3 units in here right now. All of those are generating the near Mind Spheres for me. So that's a nice little replenishment every day that I have going on. You also have the option of Chocobo expeditions right now. So I have not used any of my expedition tickets yet. This is something where we still need quality of life, but come in here, slam these things. What are you saving these for, right? If you're me, you're saving them for nothing because that's how you play RPGs, because you're just kind of, idiotic about this sort of stuff. But 3 different chances for shards to drop, like there's 5 A2 shards, mix that, nothing else but 5 A2 shards, that's 5 more Mind Spheres. Is this kind of annoying? Could we use a quality of life update here? Absolutely we could. Like, I would love to just be able to click use a ticket, max out the timer and let it ride, but that's not an option. Still, if you have gold or silver tickets, this isn't bad, and it's definitely a way to tap into some of the limited time Mind Spheres that you get from the collaboration units without having to dip into your generic Mind Spheres. Okay, so there's that. Now, I do want to talk about generic Mind Spheres a little bit. A couple things here. One, if you don't know what generic Mind Spheres are, you take older unit Mind Spheres or Mind Spheres from units that you don't care about reincarnating or anything like that, and you can swap them for generics. Let's actually go check out the exchange rate. And for generic Mind Spheres, you're going to go into your units tab here. You're going to click Transcendent Mind Sphere. What's that called? Portal? Transcendent Mind Sphere Exchange Shop. Why did I think it was called Portal? And in here, what you can do is trade in your Mind Spheres. So like Balo, I've max reincarnated Balo. Don't need him anymore. Little Leela, same thing. That's 15. That's 15 more. Valet, there's all these lower rarity units, but there's also all of these UR units where you get a 5-to-1 exchange rate. Now that seems a little bit harsh, but it's really not that bad. Like, am I ever going to max reincarnate Macherie? No, I might as well have 9 more generic Mind Spheres. Same with Frederica. There's 18, Miranda, Victoria. You could just go through here, and especially if you're somebody who's been playing the game for a while and you just kind of like hit duplicates every once in a while in your pulls of units you don't want anymore, you can come in here, start just cashing these things in for generic Mind Spheres. Now, this is not something you're going to be able to do all the time, but I bet you once a year, you're going to be able to come in here and just slam a couple 100 to 1,000 more generic Mind Spheres, depending on how much you pull or something like that. Skahal, I can get 120 just from him. That's really nice. I must have pulled a lot of dupes of him. I would probably avoid a lot of these other generics, you know what I mean? But for a collaboration, hey, you know what? Like, if you can put a bunch of collaboration units in your guild barracks and kind of use that to farm generic Mind Spheres, that's an option. Now, another thing, and I'll go ahead and confirm the ones I just did, another thing you can do if you have a bunch of old summon tickets, and I'm going to try to scroll through this summon thing right here. Actually, can I just click? Thank God. My summon screen really laggy since that emergency maintenance earlier today, but I have a ton of old select tickets for unit UR shards. Now, often, Connor Grayton, thanks for subbing. I often save these just in case there is a unit I want to reincarnate later, like maybe Stern gets a big update, but I have 2,151 Stern Mind Spheres. That is so many. I could use my old tickets to summon some shards for these guys, get some generic Mind Spheres, and that's a way I could speed this process up if I needed to. Okay, there's that. And then there's one more very slept on method you can use here to get some more generic Mind Spheres, and that has to do with the summoning tab again. Now, this is a thing. You're going to have to be spamming Gill Snappers every weekend if you want to do this regularly, but our normal summons, we can now spam the 100x normal summon. You just saw how I was trading in a bunch of like generic Mind Spheres from a lot of older units, or a lot of older units Mind Spheres for generics. A way I can kind of farm some Mog Medals and some Mind Spheres is by 100 summoning in the limited normal summon. Right here, I only got one Soul Medal, so this time I only hit one unit Mind Sphere for an older unit. So I would not have got a generic out of that because you need to hit 5, and I got 4 Vision Medals, so that was honestly one of the worst big 10 million Gill pulls I've ever seen. Normally I get between like 4 to 8 of both of those things. So let's see what I got this time. Let's see if that holds true. Anyway, a lot of people, so there you go, 4 there, 5 there. So I've got a generic Mind Sphere out of that. This is a good way if you just need a couple more generic Mind Spheres to maybe finish a reincarnation. You can come in here and spin some Gill. I know a lot of people who farm shards. Some of you are going to think I'm kidding, but there's a lot of people who literally farm shards in this Gill summon area. To do this though, I mean, look at this. This is a vision card chart right here, Inherited Wills. I don't need this anymore, but if I did, that'd be a nice way to get some older vision card shards or some newer vision card shards that just aren't in the shop anymore, all of that. The issue here is it basically means you're farming Gill every single weekend, and even then you're going to run a macro on this thing for a while or something, and you're going to run out of Gill. So it is very expensive in the Gill area, but it's a way of farming shards and Mog Medals for people who, you know, like don't want to spend money on the game. It's free to play friendly because you're using energy pots and time instead of money and Visior. So I do like it for that. Like right here, I hit 9 Vision Medals and 5 Soul Medals. That's pretty nice. And then there's those Mind Spheres that I can start trading in. So this is a legit option. It's just kind of trickier than the other ones. Okay, those are the things I wanted to mention there. There's obviously trading Mog Medals for stuff. Like, I'm assuming everybody knows about that already. Like, go to the Mog shop, trade your medals in. I'm trying to give you like alternate routes you can explore if you want to go crazy and max reincarnate somebody. All right, what's next? Okay, the worst one is next. The absolute worst one is these statues, the Alchemist statues. This is where all my energy went today. This is just terrible. Like, you can go, I clicked the wrong thing. You can go to the exchange shop and exchange one type of Alchemist statue for another. I don't love that though. So like, let's say I wanted to get ice Alchemist statues, equivalent exchange. It's a 2-to-1. So if you're just swimming in one, like I'm just swimming in lightning Alchemist statues, I could say, okay, I'm going to take like 3,000 of my lightning Alchemist statues and get a few more ice. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that. All right, then am I swimming in any others? Dark, I have a lot. Man, though, I don't really want to tap myself out on another one because you need these for leveling up, you know, EX boards. You need these for any sort of building up a unit you're going to do. You need these ice Alchemist statues. My advice here is if you know you're going to reincarnate a unit soon, definitely hardcore spend all your energy pots on that the week before. Or if we get those like quadruple drop things that we get sometimes, especially on anniversaries, Alchemist statue rooms are low-key a great place to spend that energy if you're not spending it on like Gill Snappers or something to do the Gill Snapper farm. So it's definitely something to consider. I got back up to 2,000 there. Let's go back to the unit and see what we can do. Okay, so we've done almost everything. There was one more I wanted to talk about, and that's going to be the EXP cubes. Now, right now I'm at 2,500, and this was something that I just remembered you could do literally today, and it's going to save me so much time. So I'm going to run out of these things, right? Like it's going to basically tap me out of those to max reincarnate her, but they're very cheap in the Mog shop if you want to go after them. So for example, you go down to Soul Medals right here. There's an unlimited amount of exchange you can do for Soul Medals I'm sorry, forget what am I talking about? Soul medals. I meant guild medals. You guys, don't be crazy. I meant guild medals. At the bottom of your guild medal screen, it's 10 guild medals for an EXP cube. If you are swimming in guild medals, you can get 999, let's just say 1,000 EXP cubes XL size for 10,000 guild medals. That's very worth doing. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that once right now, and now I don't have to worry about that. For like, I can max reincarnate several units with EXP cubes. I think that's a neat little thing you can do, and it's something I had completely forgotten about until I started filming this video. Okay, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna spam some summons for those elemental materials, and then I'm gonna hit reincarnate my A2 again, and we're gonna see how that goes. Okay, there we go. I definitely am going to fast forward that in editing because that's a boring thing to watch. But let's get the satisfaction of hitting this auto reincarnate button again and seeing how far we can take it. We can take it another 38 reincarnations, putting us at 61. I'm going to hit this button. Oh, I mean, and actually what it looks like I'm maxing out on here is JP. Okay, look, JP is easy to get. You go to the JP room, you farm that stuff, you trade it in. I'm going to hit this button and see where we are. Don't worry, I will not make you watch this whole thing. We are going to hyper fast forward through this round of 38 reincarnations. Let's go. Okay, there we go. I actually zoned out. It looks like I came back just about in time. Let's watch those bars in. Oh, that's satisfying. Watching those bars jump up like that does feel pretty good. And then what am I tapped out on? Obviously, I need some more spheres, but that's not going to be too bad. The JP's there, it's going to just let me reincarnate. And this is something to pay attention to as well. Like, I'm going to be able to hit reincarnate again, because when it's calculating, when it's trying to figure out like how much it's going to need, it's assuming max, but what this does is it automatically stops when you hit 3 stars and does it again. So it will actually be cheaper to do this than what the estimation is, and that's why you're going to get a little bit of return, right? I got a little bit of a refund after that 38 batch for another 13 batch, and this will put me pretty close to finishing my A2's max reincarnation. And now I'm going to pause there on max reincarnating her. I will finish, but I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of those 3 units in the guild barracks, stop dipping into my generic mine spheres, which I probably wouldn't have done unless I was making a video about it today, but it is what it is. Content creation is my thing. I like to do that. It was worth using them there for me, but I'll stop at 74. I'll get the last 6 to 7 or so that I need off of real mine spheres, and then I just need to farm some JP, and it looks like that's where I'm at. So there we go. I hope this video was helpful for some people. I hope a few of those tips are useful. There's obviously more standard ways to get this stuff. Like I said, like just trading in soul stars, just doing all that normal stuff. Sure, you can do, I'm sorry, not soul stars, Mog medals. Sure, you could do all that, but these were just some extra ways that I found today while I was trying to speed the process up a little bit. Where am I now? How many more can I do? I can do 3 more right now even. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Those refunds keep flowing in, but like I said, I am going to save up for those mine spheres before I finish max reincarnating my A2. There's her stats. At how many reincarnations was that? Let me go ahead and take her to 20 here. Let's get her maxed out at least. Okay, there we go. We're at what, 7809 HP? That's pretty nice. Almost 800 attack. She's looking pretty solid. This is before gear, buffs, anything like that. All right, there we go. That's my reincarnating A2 video with some tips that I use to reincarnate some units. If you have good tips as well, I'd be happy to read them because I might not know about them, and I'm sure it would help some other people in the comment section as well. Anyway, have a good one, everybody. It looks like our patch days and news days are going to be Tuesdays into Thursdays this month. We'll see if we get a news video Tuesday morning, then we'll know that that's the case. If we don't, then we won't, and we'll just move on from there. Anyway, peace out, y'all. See ya.